Whether you're buying your first home or you just want to make the process of buying a property a little bit easier this time around, this video is to help guide you through the purchasing process step by step from research to settlement. Hey guys, it's Dan here from Domain. Hopefully this video will give you a bit more confidence when it comes to making decisions on your property journey. We've broken this video into 5 segments for you. First, we'll go over some useful preparation you need to do before you start searching for a property. Then we'll look at how to find that perfect property. We've also got some quick tips to help you get the most out of property inspections. We'll go over the all-important due diligence stage, and then we'll walk you through the home buying process from making an offer through to settlement. If you've already found the home you want and you're at the later stages of the process, feel free to skip ahead. You'll find the time codes in the description below. And if you find this video useful, hit the subscribe button and click the bell. That way we'll keep you in the loop when we upload new content. Okay, so first things first, you want to set a budget for your property purchase. A couple of things that will affect this are the size of your deposit, your borrowing capacity, and of course how much debt you're comfortable taking on. It's a good idea to speak to a mortgage broker early in the process. They can confirm your borrowing capacity and recommend various loan products that suit your circumstances. If you think you're ready to start looking for properties straight away, then that's the time to get home loan pre-approval. Next, you need to decide what you're looking for in a property. Now, if you're buying with a partner, this could take some negotiating, but if you can decide on some criteria that fit what you're both looking for, this will save you a lot of time during your property search. Consider the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and parking spaces that you need, and also think about the total size of the property. Then you need to decide where you want to look. Consider the ideal area that suits your lifestyle, whether that's close to the CBD, parks, beaches, cafes, or shops. Think about the transport options, so buses, trains, and trams. And if you drive to work, consider the parking situation and the length of your commute. And the big thing for families or those planning to have kids is school zones. Now, these criteria can always change once you start searching, but it's great to have an idea of how much you have to spend and what your ideal property looks like before you invest time in seriously looking at individual properties. So now you're ready to really start your property search. The best way to begin is to jump on the Domain app, type in your target suburb, area, or school catchment, then select your ideal property features. You can also use Map View to make your search even easier. Once you've found a few homes you like, start shortlisting them to keep track of the ones you're interested in. You can also share your shortlist with your partner, so you'll see when your other half adds a property they like. It's also a good idea to set up some property alerts, so that when homes come on the market that match your criteria, you'll get a notification. You'll find out about homes that are ready to buy, but aren't yet widely advertised, so you can view them before they're even listed. If you're looking in a particular suburb, you might start seeing the same agents' faces popping up. It's a good idea to reach out to local agents and let them know what type of property you're looking for, so they know to contact you when they have something suitable. Once you have a few homes on your shortlist, start making inquiries with agents, getting some price guides, and making note of inspection times. You can also use Domain's built-in inspection planner to help sort out your Saturday. The property inspection merry-go-round can be fun for some and a chore for others. You're probably going to be spending every Saturday morning for the next month or so, grabbing a piece of toast and coffee, jumping in the car and heading from property to property. Open home inspections normally run for 30 minutes, so it's a good idea to know what you're looking for to make the most of your time. Make yourself a checklist of your must-haves, your nice-to-haves, and your deal-breakers. And as you go through a property, tick them off the list. You'll likely be inspecting multiple homes every week, so having a checklist can help jog your memory later when it comes time to compare properties. Make sure you take pictures and notes on your smartphone. Take photos of the rooms, exterior features, and any damage or issues with the property. Look out for some key features of the property. These can include the level of natural light, how busy the street is, and the aspect or which way the property faces. Also take note of the age and condition of the kitchen and bathroom, because you may need to allow room in the budget for renovations further down the track. If you have any questions about the property, ask the agent while you're there. Some of the most important questions include when it was last renovated, how long the vendors lived there for, why they're selling, what's included in the property, whether there's any known issues with the property, and whether they've received any offers. If you're keen on a property, you'll want to inspect it a few more times, but there's no harm in getting the agent to send you a copy of the contract at this point, so you have it ready to go when you need it. Now is a good time to do a reality check of prices. So far, all that you've spent on the property search is time, but you start to incur costs when you reach the due diligence stage. So use some online valuation tools, look at previous sales of comparable properties, and if the price is undisclosed, you could try reaching out to the selling agent to see if they can give you an idea of what it's sold for. It's also a good idea to attend a few auctions of comparable properties. Seeing how many people are in the running and how aggressively they're bidding can give you an idea of demand for properties in the local area. Due diligence is the essential checks you need to do before buying a property to make sure you're making the right decision. Buying a property is a huge investment, so you want to go into the process with your eyes open. Unearthing any potential problems with the property can also be a useful bargaining tool when negotiating with a vendor. The cost of due diligence can add up, especially if you have to go through the process multiple times during your search, so it's a good idea to factor in these costs from the beginning. First is the all-important building and pest inspection. This is where a qualified building professional inspects the property and looks for structural problems such as sagging, cracking or rising damp, as well as pest infestations like mice and termites. Ideally, you'll arrange your own independent building and pest inspection, but sometimes you can purchase a vendor-supplied report at a reduced cost. In these cases, the eventual buyer will usually pay the full price of the report. The equivalent for an apartment is a Strata report. As well as surfacing any building issues, this will detail the financial health of the building, including the Capital Works Fund. Potential buyers will then know if they can expect any special levies for major repairs into the future. Once you're satisfied with the building and pest report, you'll need to get a copy of the contract from the agent and engage a solicitor or a conveyancer to look it over. The contract will contain information such as the purchase price, the settlement date, and the zoning of the property, as well as any special conditions or deadlines, and any matters relating to title, such as covenants, easements, or restrictions. Your conveyancer may suggest changes to be made to the contract to protect your interest, and you can also propose changes like a longer settlement period. Conveyancers may either charge a small fee or provide the service free of charge on the assumption that the buyers will engage them for settlement. Deciding how much to offer for a property can be stressful. It depends on the market conditions, how many people are interested in the property, and your own personal circumstances. Offering too low can be considered insulting to the vendor, but offering too close to the listing price could mean you're paying more than you need to. If you're struggling, consider hiring a professional valuer to inspect the property beforehand to give you an idea of how much to offer. Offers should be submitted in writing to the agent, who is legally obliged to pass the offer on to the vendor for consideration. Specify how much you're willing to pay and any conditions you want to attach to the offer, such as repairs required or the deposit you'll put down. The cooling off period is the length of time after purchase in which buyers can back out of the transaction. During this period, buyers can undertake further investigations of the property and cancel the sale if they decide not to go ahead. The standard cooling off period is between 2 and 5 business days, depending on the state, and buyers who choose to cancel the sale will have to pay a termination fee, normally a small percentage of the sale price. Making a pre-auction offer will usually require you to waive your cooling off period. That means all your investigations need to be done and pre-approval needs to be in place before you make an offer. There's a lot of tips and techniques for bidding at auction, but the most important thing you need to do is stick to your budget. It's easy to get carried away in the moment, especially if you've missed out at a number of auctions, but your upper limit should be very clear in your mind before you even pick up that bidder's paddle. You'll need to have a 10% deposit ready to go. Some agents accept a bank transfer, otherwise you'll need a checkbook or a bank check to hand over if you're the winner on the day. The day you sign the contract and hand over the deposit is considered the exchange date. The settlement period is when both parties complete the property transaction. This is when the conveyancer does the bulk of their work, ensuring the buyer is purchasing exactly what they've been sold. The standard settlement period is 6 weeks, although this can vary. On settlement day, the seller receives the money owed, the property is legally transferred to the buyer, and the buyer is given the keys. Hopefully this video has helped you make sense of the property buying process and given you some practical steps you can take when looking for a property to buy. And if you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to the Domain channel for more property news and advice. Or leave a comment if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to cover in the next video.